competition makes everybody better. But there are some people who don't like my saying that.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
The teachers' union, 5 million members strong.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
This group is mad at me.
We are here to demand an apology from 2020's John Stossel.
I had done another show called Stupid in America that said it was impossible to fire bad teachers. The union boss said, because of my program.
Educators all over the country feel that they have been kicked in the teeth.
They were surprised when I came outside to hear them. The union said I should be educated.
So just teach for a week. We got high schools, we got elementary school.
The crowd liked the idea of me teaching for a week.
Teach, teach! Teach, teach!
I think I surprised them again when I said, okay, I'll teach. But then they changed their mind. Union President Randy Weingarten won't talk to me anymore, but 2 other union bosses did. Joe Del Grosso, head of Newark's Teachers Union, and Nathan Saunders of Washington, D.C.'s. City schools are terrible because of unions like yours.
Well, I would disagree. We have progress as a result of unions.
Save our school!
3 days before, Saunders led this protest march to complain about plans to pay teachers based on how well their students do on tests. The protesters even composed an anti-test song.
Test, teaching, do the test. Work on math and English and forget about the rest. Hey!
I think I know why the union doesn't like testing. Your results are awful. They're among the lowest in the nation.
You make an argument that it's the lowest in the nation based upon the test scores. Now, I would say that ours can get better, but I would say that ours are...
Your predecessors, the unions, have been saying that for years.
I think the unions have a pretty strong history of advocating for high-quality public education.
But not achieving it.
Higher test scores are not what we choose to focus on. We choose to focus on teaching kids.
But how do you know if they're learning anything if you don't test them and compare?
I know my kids are learning when I look in their eyes.
The protesters had celebrity support. Actor Matt Damon. He was asked by a woman from Reason TV about the rules that make it hard to fire union teachers.
In acting, there isn't job security, right? Why isn't it like that for teachers?
You think job insecurity is what makes me work hard?
Well, you have an incentive to work harder, but if there's
I
job
want to
security...
be an actor. It's not an incentive. That's the thing. So you take this MBA-style thinking, right?
MBA style, business school ideas. Well, yes, charter schools, vouchers, even Obama's race to the top are based on the idea that competition's good. If kids are free to take their school money to any school, competition among schools, including for-profit chains, will force all the schools to get better or go out of business. The best schools will expand. But the unions don't like that market competition.
There's a profit motive behind all of this extra testing.
We need to get the corporations out of the schools.
The union says school choice would enrich corporations, but further impoverish poor teachers.
Business types of every stripe is suddenly concerned over greedy teachers and the riches that they earn.
Teachers paid enough?
No.
But you got some teachers making over $100,000 a year.
And they aren't making enough.
Matt Damon agrees with that. His mom's a union teacher.
A teacher wants to teach. I mean, why else would you take a salary and really long hours?
Teachers make a salary? Well, maybe to Matt Damon. But today, American teachers make more per hour than accountants, nurses, architects.
I can guarantee you this. It's not about the money.
Kevin Chavis is a former D.C. politician.
When I was chairman of the Education Committee on the D.C. Council, I gave the school system $300 million new dollars. Teachers got more money than ever to educate 10,000 fewer kids, and the test scores went down. Now, what they did do, they grew central office. They had more deputies to the assistant, to the deputy, to the assistant. They grew the bureaucracy.
And the former district chancellor, Michelle Rhee, found that the bigger bureaucracy didn't even get school supplies to the kids.
Walking into schools and seeing that there were no books in the library, kids didn't have supplies and pencils, and then the following week I visited the warehouse of the school district where there were boxes and boxes of books and scissors and glue and
So why didn't they get to the school?
Exactly. That was the question. That
Why didn't they get to the school?
it was just a complete and utter sense of dysfunction and a lack of accountability.
It's a reason they call the school bureaucracy the BLOB. It's like this blobby Jabba the Hutt thing that can't be budged. The BLOB is the teachers' union, janitors' unions, the politicians, the school board bureaucrats. And if you try to make a change, the BLOB says,
we don't do that here. We have to requisition downtown. We got to get 4 or 5 people to sign off. The deputy director of curriculum has to say this is okay. It's crazy.
both union leaders escape that bureaucracy.
You went to private school.
That's correct.
It kind of made me feel that I had better do pretty good in that school or else.